Regular July meeting of the Teton Valley Parks and Recreation District opens. Note that we have all three directors here. Are there any suggested changes to the agenda? Changes? Make a motion to accept the agenda as written.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of minutes. One question, one just thought on minutes. When we started this about a year and a half ago, we kind of got more into the what's more true minutes instead of trying to get kind of transcripts. And I think we might want to go back to doing that, where we're just kind of catching the the discussion words and the actions, because I think there's enough wording in there that gets kind of confusing the way it was written. So I don't know if that's
more bullet points versus paragraph.
I'll try.
Yeah, there was a discussion on this instead of said because it gets hard. And I think that's taken a lot of time to do. So are there any suggested changes to the regular meeting minutes as written?
I had a couple in the public comments, some spelling with people's names. I think it's Claire Vitucci, VI instead of a PA.
Yeah.
And then it's Colleen Schooley with an EY on the end. Okay. Under It might take me a second to find my other one if anyone else has anything.
Number 10 there, finances of the climbing gym, comma, to determine if it makes sense to pursue. So remove the was it self-sufficient and would go in. And then that last paragraph starting at John Beller I would delete that all the way down to John will look into the feasibility of a rock gym. Come on, sweet. Rock climbing gym.
I think mine were the other comments I had were in the other ones.
And then, so there a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes?
I will make a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes as amended during the meeting.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. On the special meeting July 8th, just one note that Matt was present via Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Just add that in there. Mm-hmm.
It's a 7-8.
Which Wi-Fi are you using? Your phone?
My phone, yeah. It's called Sarah's phone if you can find it.
They are working on the Wi-Fi. And she said sometime around mid-month there'll be Wi-Fi, so I've been using a hotspot on my work phone.
Skip the public comment.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't the other one. And it was just, there was an H on my name. So.
Okay, motion to accept the special meeting minutes from July 8th.
I'll make the motion to accept the special meeting minutes as edited July 8th.
For a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'll apologize to the public for bypassing their public comment period. Is there anybody who would like to make a comment? Please try to keep it to 3 minutes or less, if you would. Okay.
I'll just jump in, and I mean, you guys already know some of why some of us are probably here, but I just think a lot of people would love the climbing gym, and if there's any opportunity for one, it seems like a pretty darn good one. And everywhere we climb around the valley, and everybody goes, man, I wish we had a gym. It's a bummer that it's not there, but it seems like a really special opportunity to make a lot of people happy, provide recreation. Eric Boomer. There. Tony, yes.
Any other?
Um, yeah, Tim Belfort and Driggs. I feel like my girls are just aging into it being a space that they want to be in. And, living in Driggs, things get more expensive and it's hard to lose things that we like to use in the town that like we want to be in. So it's kind of when it went away, we were like, okay, we're just starting to use it. And now the place that we want to spend our time is no longer there. And I don't know how it all went about and what happened, but it's just it's upsetting that it's no longer an asset that we have, something to do on a rainy day.
Yeah, my daughter's a very active climber and found a lot of community in the gym. And I think that it's climbing is one of those sports that you can do your entire life. And you don't need a team to do it. You can grab a partner, you can go bouldering on your own. And it's really, I think it's great for development of a kid. Like, physically, emotionally, it builds a lot of character and a lot of self-confidence. And I think it's having a gym is a pretty cool thing for a community.
Other comments?
My name is Iwana Pepper. I live in Driggs. One of those competition climbing here. And overall climbing is just good. I mean, everyone can do it here. It's a really great thing in the winter that you can do and stay active during colder months. And it's also a great way to connect with nature and all the wonderful people that climb outside. And me, as a competition climber, I would really enjoy not having to drive all the way to Jackson like 4 days a week just to have to train.
Other comments? Yes.
Sarah McNair Landry. I live in Deconia, and I've been going to the gym since I moved here 8 years ago. It's where I met my community, and the climbing gym is a really special place. It's more than just working out and getting fit. It's also about meeting community, young people, old people. Everybody can access it. Everybody can go, and I just really hope to see a climbing gym back in Driggs in the near future.
And I'm zooming into the meeting that I'm not at for the people, but I actually apparently somehow else is signed in on the phone.
sorry. Okay. We've got a public comment period. Invoices, we have 4 invoices. Are there any questions on either MSTV law invoice for $180, Burkhart bookkeeping $338, Harmony Design for $5,011, and Civic Plus for $93.45. Any questions? Those?
I don't think so.
No,
I mean, did you guys feel that Harmony's on pace with what they
seems pretty
Yeah.
close to what they should be.
great?
I'll make a motion to approve the invoices as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Motion passes. Let bypass the financial report. For the time being, Sarah's got to run to Tetonia.
The one snafu with moving our time is Tetonia starts at 7 and I'm second on their agenda. So
Okay.
we'll see what we can get through that.
Yeah, so we'll try to move some things. Executive Director updates, Civic Plus Rec software meeting recap.
Those are, if you guys want to pull those up. So I talked with,
The opportunity.
You bet.
I did a couple of meetings with Civic, and they've got the recreation software, they've got the scheduling software. Fine. Okay. I had it. Okay. So the quote is, and what takes place with this is there's training that's involved, there's consulting that's involved. So essentially they build it on the back end, very basic. And then whoever is running the recreation software side of it builds in the codes for what fee goes to what, how much the fees are going to be. Is it going to be credit card? This also includes one credit card terminal that would be placed on my desk for people if they need to do that. But obviously online payments are available. Their initial term is for 2 years if we sign, and the first cost is going to be close to $10,000. And then any annual reoccurring is going to be $6,100, but they will give us $1,000 discount if we agree to start working on it before August. And this would include just the basic package with recreation. What I do like about Civic Plus is I was talking to Hannah today at ABC, and when you've got youth programs and adult programs that have any kind of HIPAA requirements, Civic Plus works with another computer program. I can't recall what it is, but it has basically the families put in if there's allergies or point of contact, if they need a second point of contact, and it keeps you from having paperwork in your file cabinets. They store it in a safe cloud. And that's part of the fee as well, is any type of documentation that we have loaded up would be stored for us. Hannah says that she's got it all on paper. It'd be a lot easier if her program was able to store these kinds of documentation, and you can have it on hand and access it via your phone. So if we ever had youth programs happening, you had a kid that needed their EpiPen, you could get into the phone, click on it, see what they're allergic to, what their EpiPen looks like, or what their medication is, and take care of it. So that was a nice thing about Civic Plus. I feel it's the easiest one on the back end and the front end for customers, as well as the person that's putting it together. And their training is pretty robust for the up to 4 hours of training that they offer in these packages. So.
Is the 6,100K renewal for a 2-year term or another 2-year term, or is that every year thereafter at 6,100?
It would be every year would be
Okay.
6,100.
Did Hannah are they using
They're active
software? Right
they
now?
use ActiveNet software, and she doesn't mind it from the back end, but the families do not like it at all. It's clunky.
Yeah. Does she know what she's paying? I mean, that one of the issues I know when we talked with a bunch of nonprofits last year was that they're all paying like 3,000 to 4,000 a year for things they need 6 months or 3 to 6 months a year.
If she's active, she's probably at 4. Active is fairly cheap, but you get what you pay for with them. I've worked with active before.
I mean, this is kind of why I steered us towards Civic Plus, is for this rec software that they can implement and not try to use a different plugin with whatever website. So hopefully it's more seamless to be able to implement it.
I think this would also help with the field reservations, park pavilion reservations, and all of those things that each city does differently. If we were to get them under one umbrella, we'd be able to build on that end too. All I needed would be what bank account or whatever it is that those fees go into. We just need those numbers to put in. And
so would this tie into the scheduling software?
yeah, it's
so
not, it's
both
the
of
same
those
thing.
together.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rec One is all things inclusive, and that includes parks, reservations, and recreation programs.
But we just have this as a discussion, no action item, but are there any other, I mean, it seems, again, it's been one of those things that's been a push for people, and we keep hearing of the issues with fields and scheduling of fields and gyms and things like that. And if we can get the school district to come on board with helping us or letting us help take that over, I think that would be a good thing.
We have to know, yeah, with adopting new software, it's like you try to identify the best one, and you have to just jump in and start learning it, you know, and seeing how it works for you. This seems like the best. I'm definitely in support of it.
Okay, well, let's put it on we'll probably have a special meeting next week to get some more budget stuff taken. Maybe we'll put that on as an action to proceed. There. Next on the request for proposal for nonprofit equipment requests. This came out of some discussion with several nonprofits that were looking for equipment specific and for, or, you know, we can't buy equipment and give to them. But based on Jeff's conclusion, yeah, we can buy equipment that remains ours, and we can loan it to them as long as it's generally used in one of our facilities, which would fall with any of those TPA facilities. And so I'd asked,
did Jeff comment on the generally available to the public part of that?
Not generally available, but that the equipment just needed to be being used as like a baseball field.
Yeah.
So for the example, one of the people that we talked to was a T-ball people, and they were looking for helmets for kids, and they didn't have any helmets, and they couldn't get them. And so the idea would be they submit a proposal to us for a certain amount of helmets. We'd have those helmets, we'd maintain them, provide them to them during the season, take them back and such when they're done.
So where do we store the helmets?
Well, that's always the big question. I think the one thought I had is we do have the ability to use space out here in the boneyard, and I would see maybe purchasing a poly barn at some point for that sort of things. I mean, we have to look at stuff as we come and see what those proposals are. So this request is basically to go out amongst those organizations and say, well, what are your ideas? And throw them back at us, and we can then look through those and say, does this make sense? Do we have the ability to store it? What do we need to do that? What maintenance issues are there? Some of this stuff will be, have a 2-year, 3-year, maybe 1 year life expectancy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to deal with that. But it's one way we can help those nonprofits that we can't just provide funding directly to.
Do we have a draft this RFP?
Yeah.
I have it up on the screen
Okay.
with, I guess, my comments. The first paragraph, I just had some typos, but so they're, I don't know, do you want to read it out loud, or are you good to read it?
that link go to our website and be a listing of those facilities. I think it's a good thing to get in place anyway.
Just the 10. Here's-
I just think we had, okay, thank you.
program information. I guess it's, but I just thought a couple of these things were a little redundant. So this one is kind of says the same thing as number 3. So impacting the community, and just in the interest of just streamlining things and making it shorter and something people might fill out properly. Just looking into the wording and that.
Yeah.
And then I added, I mean, the seasons, dates, period of use. That's the one thing that I feel like we need to get a handle on too, is when do people actually need this equipment? When do they need that field? Like, it's just one of those things that sports have seasons.
Right.
Like, let's figure out when they are and
This is a little
support
bit-
the right sport during the right time and make sure there's no conflicts.
Yeah.
So that was something I added. And then another intended use is there, number 1 on the next one. Why is this equipment needed? That seems like the same thing. So I don't know where you want to keep it, but I think we only need it one place.
Yeah, you try to get rid of the intended use, I would think.
Matt, have you been able to read along?
Yep.
Okay. That was all I had. I didn't see John's did you just fix it?
Gee,
I
I
took his and I
Okay,
made it.
yeah. So I never saw your comments, but I'm sure they were great.
It's already on there. All of those are John. That's John right there.
And then, yeah, just making sure they're providing proper documentation.
I mean, we could include a line item about maintenance or,
How to keep the condition.
Where will the equipment be stored? We should maybe just have both those addressed ahead of time. Having it have to be our responsibility, but kind of make that clear.
Maybe just what are storage requirements?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
there
know
you go.
what that would be. Because if we have them stored all the time, they would just slowly disappear off into space, which might be a good thing, but probably not what we should do.
I just thought of something too, maybe some kind of expected life.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
In there, somewhere in here.
Do you want to add those? Yeah.
That'll be right in here.
Intended use with storage requirements, maybe. Motion.
And it would be to adopt this for use, for
As-
general public use.
Yep, as edited. Yeah.
Sure. I'll make a motion to adopt the RFP nonprofit equipment request document as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Let's bypass what you did this month. And the community disposals, we'll come back to those. Again, we're trying to get Sarah moving here. City of Driggs, there's an action. When I talked with Jeff, relative to how do we transfer funds to the city of Driggs, he suggested that within our motion, we should have specified the mechanism. And I think we talked about this the last special meeting, so I'll just make this motion that the funding for the projects previously approved by the rec district for Driggs will be funded through a check to the city of Driggs. Second.
Second that motion.
Who's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Climbing gym. So for our last meeting, I put together a kind of an analysis of what report was that? Looking at the history of and the background of how we got here. That's just mostly not coming up. Yeah, background of how we got here. So that's just all history. And then I talked with multiple people, which mostly are referenced there, trying to understand what could potentially be there. We had a proposal provided from Jason Gunderson. Jansen, yeah,
Is that this one?
yeah, Jansen Gunderson for a set of rock walls that were movable. So that was kind of a basis to say, yeah, this is something. Don't know if that's the right thing or not, if it would make sense. Also got information from Christian Beckwith on the enclosure when they put that together, and that was quite a different gym. It was quite more expansive. But to be what I would say is extremely conservative and looking what the capital cost might be. I used some of their numbers for rental equipment and ropes and those sorts of things. When I'd sent this back to Christian, he thought it was probably extremely conservative too. So on that. So those are the numbers that
he says rental equipment number was extremely conservative.
That for us, those numbers would be extremely conservative. Yeah. Additional, and there's some pictures in there. I had thought that the walls had all been completely destroyed and removed. So I went in with the city, and they are, go to the second one there. So these are actually in fairly decent shape. On this side, go back to the other one where they cut some of the taller ones. There's what we need to do, and that's something that could be looked at is evaluate that structure to see, if it's still suitable or what would need to be done to modify it to see if that could be saved. And I think that would be significantly cheaper than those other rock walls for a start on those. So those are all, I got a little holes, places for the holes to bolt in. So they were asked by the city to stop destroying those because it was making a mess in the TISA area too. So they stopped and they have building. I think they're looking at trying to have it put a contract in place to have the rest removed here in the next month or so.
Driggs is
Driggs. Yeah. Well, I think it's the rock, Teton Rocks and folks, but they were put in contact because they're responsible for moving it. I think it would be in August they would be getting rid of that. So got a note from Doug today asking what we were thinking. I haven't responded yet because don't know what for sure we're thinking. So yeah, this is the proposal that was provided. So these are kind of fit-in systems, as I understand, kind of almost all look like bouldering kind of thing. So use these as kind of a basis for, hey, this is a number. Give us a kind of an envelope of what it is. And I think that's probably a high end. Then I took and looked at the numbers, the operational dollars associated that basically all these came from the Teton Rock Gym's reports. They're can't remember what the number of the report is. They have to report to the state, looking at what their rent was, or excuse me, the rent there is the rent that the city of Driggs quoted us, so about $450 a month. The staff is based on Teton Rock Gym's numbers. The insurance is based on Teton Rock Gym's numbers. I think ours might be less because it'd be combined with their other stuff. Supplies, general maintenance, and expenses. Looking at what those total costs are. And similarly, the next table down, we looked at the estimated revenue that they showed. And it's interesting, and that's the 2024 data. Their number of memberships dropped significantly in the last year. Between, I think it was 2021, 22, 24. Dropped. But this was their 2024 990 form data showing their membership, their income there. And so I guess what that shows me when I look at that is based on what their data they provided, that they were covering costs for operation. So the other question looking at was logistical issues and labor. Labor would probably be the biggest concern I would see. Is that, you know, it's always hard to find labor here. I think you know, finding a qualified person to manage that facility might be a challenge. I don't know. I'm not tied into the climbing community to know who's out there and might be willing to do something like that, but that would need to be addressed. And then cash flow, of course, there'd be some level of money required from the district to get things up and moving for a while. I would expect at least 6 months would be probably subsidized for sure. Guessing that. Looking at other what I call the competitive analysis, short one. There's a couple others. There is a rock wall at I believe it's at Bruce.
The middle school.
Or the middle school, yeah, the middle school. It's being run by TVPRD right now. That's really not available for everyone to use. The next facility is over at the Community Recreation Center in Jackson. That's quite a more extensive facility, and talking with those folks there, people that go there for that facility are, you know, we're not going to pull them back here. I mean, there might be some people that will, that have to go over there for certain things. So, you know, young lady here said, but people that want those high walls, we're not going to have, wouldn't have those. So, and there's also another just for-profit facility over there, but I don't think that's a big issue. So yeah, kind of in conclusion, I mean, my conclusion, looking at the numbers, looking at the data, is yeah, there's somewhere under, you know, under $350,000 and to put in a facility. I think that's probably pretty conservative if what those existing walls can be repaired and saved. Because I think that would significantly reduce it. We'd be looking at some reduced costs there.
I'm thinking one cost we would want to incur if we were to do that would be to have someone, a structural engineer, someone look at the.
Yeah. It'd need to be looked at by a structural engineer for sure. The other piece of that is, so basically it looks like, you know, it looks like if it's up and operating, it seemed to have operated for quite a few years at a profit. And we would operate at a break even, which I think would be good for the public in general, because, you know, we cover costs for maintenance and things like that. But as a government agency, we're not there to make a profit. We're there to cover the costs, and we'd have to set rates associated with it. So kind of what I was looking at, you know, this is kind of the level of detail I can do at this point. And I thought if we were to choose to move forward with something like this, we really need to get people from the climbing community to come together and say, okay, this is the type of facility that we want. So pretty much define what that facility needs to look like. You know, kind of limit them by saying, hey, you know, this is our dollar max figure we'd look at it, and we don't want to build, you know, maybe back up during COVID when they were when they were building the gym in Jackson, we got on a couple calls. We were watching some movies or something that were there, and the climbing coalition over there had these things, and they were pushing for this magnificent gym, which they got. but we don't have that ability to do that. Or desire probably want to I would, in my mind, recreate something of what was there previously, and so kind of define that as the limits. But get that group together, a committee that basically helps define what that facility would look like and how it would operate, what kind of hours, and then come answer some of those questions. At the same time, that would be looking at trying to determine if there's labor issues or anybody that'd be willing to take that kind of position on and qualified to do it. So, is
TRG trying to do anything? Have you heard back from them? I know that they're still kind of doing their summer stuff outside and middle school, but I mean, if they have hopes of reopening somewhere else, I don't know. Would it? Why not let them?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. They when Katie and I met with them, they said that was their plan, is to try to reopen, but that was a couple days before or right after their lease was canceled.
I mean, I recall just even before that gym, you know, the longest time, where could we get a climbing gym? Where can you get one put in? It's not easy to find that tall space, you know?
Yeah. The other, I mean, to me, when looking at what they did in that, I mean, what they did to the walls in there, if they're true, I mean, those things could have been salvaged to be reused elsewhere, as opposed to just, you know, kind of cut up and trashed. So I would think if they were serious about trying to find elsewhere, they probably would have done a better job of saving it. But that's just my opinion of looking at it.
What would you say? 25% of the walls were trashed in there. I'm curious.
I'd say it's probably at least half.
Yeah.
But the question becomes, you know, what's damaged, what can be repaired. You know, there's just
they were sort of cut down and left.
Yeah, pull up that picture again if you can. Maybe that one there. Yeah, so you can see the support structure in the back. So they've kind of cut all these up. They're just kind of laying down there. So it looks like, depending on what can be done, I mean, you'd have to build out a lot of that. And I don't remember, or I don't know how that, it probably overhung or what was actually there before. Yeah. That looks pretty structurally sound there on the side, at least the left side. Yeah, it is disappointing in that we did meet with them and ask them, you know, what can we do? You know, kind of like, please save this until we can make a decision. If they want to give or sell or whatever. I mean, that's kind of disappointing.
Well, I would support getting a advisory committee together, you know, get some experts on it, and then maybe work through the JPA, since it's a city facility. They've offered their facility for 5 years, right? So
yeah,
I mean, that would be the path.
Well, it's
to take.
Yeah,
so.
it's the city of Driggs property, so yeah.
Driggs is offered a 5-year lease.
Yeah, that's a note from Doug.
That would be my recommendations: is get advisory committee, and yeah, it just seems like a JPA thing at this point. If we're leasing, we're not building anything new. And maybe
there's a new staff member, right, that we're absorbing the cost of. Is that our staff member?
Yeah, and one of the benefits, and I think I addressed that in there too, is one of the benefits of having a competitive advantage we have for finding that employee is we can offer them state health benefits and retirement, which is, you know, for a lot of small organizations is not an easy thing to get. And so I think that would help us find a good quality person.
The committee should be. Do we want to set some terms of how that gets created? How are we gonna? What are we suggesting there?
I would think it'd need to be at least 6, 5 or 7, 5 to 7 people, maybe. I don't know.
That range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or get there faster.
Well, good. To get the direction to look at other people.
Okay. Other things in the climbing news. We're funding a bouldering park for the Dino Valley.
It's all out in the newspaper.
Are we? Okay, right.
We, I thought,
That's a good-
wasn't it City of Victor? I
That
thought
should get
City
us
of-
some good news.
I thought City of Victor committed 150,000.
Yeah.
You're gonna approve that now, right?
That's reported. That's reported. Kara.
Strong encouragement by the people.
That's interesting.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that.
So I proposed a motion there, which I think we amended a little. So, I'll propose this motion, make this motion. Teton Valley Parks and Recreation District establish a climbing gym advisory board comprised of 5 people with the objective of identifying the functional and operational requirements for a potential climbing gym to be constructed in the Driggs Recreation Center and develop the design and operation parameters that meet those FNORs.
I'll second the motion.
For discussion.
No.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay. Public hearing is our next budget public hearing. Katie, you had talked with trying to find out other options for public hearing. Right now, the formal notice to the state is it's on at 2 p.m. at the annex on the next meeting, 12th,
Could be the 11th.
11th. I thought the day my grandchild.
I keep thinking the 12th, but then I think I've looked at the calendar.
Because
and it's never the 12th.
last year we
Last
posted
year
it
was
on
the
the wrong time.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
so
our-
next. So you were gonna look and check and see what the availability of.
Tuesdays will not happen in the evenings at the county building. And even if we didn't have it on Tuesdays because there's other meetings, we are not county employees, so we're not allowed to be in the building after work hours. And that would go the same with the annex building. The only reason why they let us in there the last time is because we promised we would monitor the hallways and make sure the door was locked.
Probably just ticked off at us because we didn't get their lease.
Well, I wondered if there's
No,
been
Susan's
some.
been super helpful. Like she was giving other
Suzanne.
ideas. Suzanne was being super
Right,
helpful
right.
for others.
So
They're just less helpful probably now.
Well, I mean, they've been receptive to my emails all
Yeah,
day. I was
they're-
going back
they're-
and forth with them. So
yeah.
I don't think
they're
they've
nice.
got,
They're nice people.
I don't think that they understand.
Yeah. We could hold it here. Right now it's at the annex at 2:00. That's our published time, and we have to change that one way, or we can leave it there. We can do that way, or we can change it and have it here in the evening.
I'm fine with leaving it. Like I said, my busy schedule is wrapping up.
You're probably leaving it at 2.
Good with that.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't need to make any change. We'll just need to make sure we have the annex.
I'll email him right now.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have to make anything there. City Victor Matt, land access appraisals.
Land access appraisal. I spoke with an appraiser. Not a lot of appraisers do this kind of appraisal. So I go, I found a gentleman with Granite Creek Appraisals, and he says that for something like we're suggesting, it's what you would call a federal inducement appraisal.
Okay.
And basically the way, sort of an eminent domain situation.
Hmm.
If
Well, I guess it's the same thing
Yeah.
because you have to pay a appraisal value.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, we're not doing any of those. Let's not use those words.
Right. I know. Well, so I did send an email to Steve Coburn. He did not return my call from last week or whenever that was before. So there's not a lot of movement there with him. And Wade asked that I continue to let him work with Summer and Tyler. So there's not a ton of action other than I did learn if we want to approve it as a cost in case I do get to go ahead with Steve. This guy suggested it was going to be $6,000 to $8,000 to do this appraisal. And let me get the right term here real quick. Up to this federal takings type of appraisal. And there's two levels to it. One is a narrative appraisal, and the other is, let me just find this, sorry, of what is considered a restricted appraisal. And that's about 25% lower cost.
What's the restricted?
Well, it's just less in depth, I think, in terms of how it's done, but I think it still qualifies as a, bona fide appraisal. So, a little bit of that I think is a negotiation with the landowner. I inaccurately said in my email to him, hey, if you just want to agree on a price, we can do that too. And it's like, well, and then I'm like, wait a minute, we got to get a price no matter what. I'm jumping the gun here. But, the point being is if he's like, look, I want to make this more of a gift, I'm sure what I'm going to need to get for the property is less than what the appraisal comes in. We could do the restricted appraisal. If he's, I could envision someone, I don't know if Steve Coburn at all, but I can envision someone saying, no, I want the highest and best appraisal I can get. And, if you guys want to do this, that's, to come. I think it's interesting. There's Wade had suggested a half-acre property. And have to give you guys some math on how I'm thinking about it. So the Coburn property is 6.5 acres. I think on an appraisal like this, my understanding is that it would be appraised on the real estate value and not the improvements. And then if we were to take half an acre of 6.56 acres, it's like 7.6 something percent. 7.6 something percent of, if for argument's sake, 6.56 acres is worth $656,000, $100,000 an acre, you would say it would be $50,000 to get a half acre there. What's interesting is that there's a road easement on the northern half of the property for 30 feet. And to buy half an acre would be like, 70 feet or something off the entire expanse of his, north piece of property. So half of the property is already an easement. One idea could be that we look to build additional roadside parking within the easement without, going through this. And it's not going to be as good for trailers and different things like that. I know it's not going to be as good for horses because tying up on the side of the road, it makes a lot of horse owners nervous. But, we're sort of buying 40 feet there, or maybe we need to negotiate more than half of an acre. Maybe it's not stretching across the whole thing, but it's a more regular shaped corner, right? Mm-hmm. So I think he's got like a 325-foot frontage there on that road. Do we need 325 feet by 70, or should we do, whatever a half acre parcel is, 150 by 150 or something like that?
Seems like we're going to do it. We should just go with the whole half acre if we can get it. I mean, it just seems like we're just sort of pushing the problem a little, it sort of addresses it, but not really. I mean, as long as
if we can do it, maybe, let's try.
Yeah. That appraisal price seems awful high.
It's interesting. I spoke to some of an appraiser that I know personally, and she quoted me something much, much lower. Mm-hmm. So I can continue to look for a lower appraisal price as well. She gave me two people. I called them both. One got back to me. That was his number. I think after I speak to the homeowner, I could be a little more specific with the appraiser about what we're looking for. And, keep trying.
Yeah,
basically.
But maybe, should we go ahead and approve a fund amount at this point so if something comes up and it makes sense, we can proceed? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, if we did the restricted, that was between 4.5 and 6, and if we did the narrative, that was between 6 and 8. I mean, I don't know a lot about. I don't think I think you pay like $1,500 for an appraisal when you buy a house, right? Like something like that. So I don't know why this is
So much
quite
more.
so much more.
Yeah.
But he was explaining to me that this is the methodology to go through it, and the woman that I spoke to that is an appraiser for residential work also said she knows nothing about doing those types of appraisals.
Yeah, because most of those are just. We donated 80 acres of easement land that we had up in the Big Lost River Valley, but I mean it was in the valley. I mean, it couldn't be developed, so there's no real. We just used the appraised.
Well, and it's
the
interesting
tax
too.
value.
I mean, this guy also mentioned, just to give you guys the full picture, he gave me he's like, I can also do an unsaleable land appraisal, right? So you say to yourself, okay, half-acre lot in a zoning that doesn't allow half-acre lots, right? If Parks and Rec becomes defunct at some point in time and has to dispose of their property, the market for this half-acre lot is really non-existent, right? And so we are purchasing it, but we're never going to receive value from it, right? And so if you did the eminent domain type one, and you say it's a percentage of the overall, it's around 50. If you do the unsaleable lot, you say this isn't, I don't know what it's worth. I think in a negotiation with the landowner, he's going to say, we're not doing that kind of appraisal. You guys keep,
I think that's more what we're doing, is an unsaleable lot.
Yeah.
Because we really are. I mean, because the eminent domain stuff, I'm thinking that's bringing in a whole lot of, when I think of it from an engineering standpoint, I think of rigor, additional rigor to defend why you're taking this piece of property and ensuring that value is to limit it, court actions and stuff. I'm looking at this as both of these two pieces of property is they're really the stuff, it would have to be split in Polkanen, but it's not developable, so it's ag property. And this other would have to be split. It's unsellable. It would have to be split. The county said, yeah, they'd probably do that for us. So I think that's more what we're looking for.
Okay. And his quote on that type of appraisal was $4,000 to $5,000. Now, yeah, I think that's really the crux decision is, do we want to treat this as a takings or an unsaleable lot? Because it matters for the appraisal that we choose.
I think it's an unsaleable lot.
I think so too. I don't think the county would let them just divide it themselves unless it's a special project like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve $6,000 for use of appraisals for the two properties.
6,000 each. It still seems high. I mean, he quoted
Up to.
me 4 to 5 on the
4 to 5,
unsaleable
okay.
land. So
How
I
about
could come out with 4,500 each, and
so make it 9. Right, come in lower.
yeah, no, I'll definitely negotiate.
Yeah,
I think it's better to give Ryan a little bit of a higher cap here and allow him to negotiate down. He's probably not paying attention to the public, to the minutes of this meeting. But
yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the $9,000 for appraisals for those two properties.
the unsaleable lot.
As an unsaleable lot.
Okay.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Let's see, Matt, Victor, JPA projects funding. Do you have a list of those yet?
Do you have those, Katie?
No, I don't. I don't believe so.
Move that next week.
Thanks.
I might have some county ones ready next week too.
Okay.
So
I think we had a list of them that we went through, and we did not get because there was only 2 that I think we were trying to push through.
There was. Who took the final record of that? Did I? Do I have to?
Jasmine, I think,
Jasmine?
because they were going to edit them.
Okay. Well, I apparently need to check in with Jasmine on that. We did, just as an FYI, the JPA group did approve some funds for the new restrooms at City Park there.
That was
Main Park.
one of the big ones.
And then another
Okay,
one
I
was
can figure
for a Brookside park that had undergone some stream and bank restoration. And so those are the two that we approved. Since that time on Victor JPA, I mean, maybe I'll just save it for the budget. I do have some values for this fiscal year that I think are going to come through. So that is really it on JPA for Victor. And then just this morning, I finally received some edits from TSD 401 on the. Oh, good.
I may have found them.
Okay.
We have this JPA joint project, the city park bathrooms, availability to the restaurant district public. She broke down the whole thing with the current amenities. Is there a facility plan, current maintenance? She's filled all that out. The project cost was $294,050. The city received a CBDG grant from the state of Idaho for $245 for construction. If the Parks and Rec District could help with the remaining $49,050 is what they were requesting.
Okay. Well, and what we approved.
Yes.
So can we approve that today then? I think we can if you have that document. I thought we were editing them in the meeting and just sharing them around. Do those need to be formally entered in some way, or what's the process here?
How did we do it with the Driggs?
We had a final draft ready.
Final draft ready. That we all
See, I
got
don't
to
think we have the
review.
final draft,
Yeah,
just the
let's
two
approve.
projects. This has like
Yeah.
all the projects. So if we can I'll talk to Jasmine, see if we can't clear it up with just those two that we moved forward.
Yeah, so then we can look at them. So everybody's
Yeah.
reviewed them.
Like
So,
to
yeah,
read
I know exactly what they.
I know what it is.
I don't know. Matt said something like this. I don't remember what.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the other one was like that 7,040 for Brookside irrigation repair and seeding.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you got a draft on that?
We have a draft today
Excellent.
from the school district. I haven't read it, but I did open it and see that it does not have tracked changes. So I might just follow up and say,
Can you do a compare doc?
I can. But yes, I will. And just keep pushing that along. I think they're anxious to go, and and I think we all know some of the things they're looking to get done ASAP. So I'll just push it along.
Sarah, purchasing administrative items, marketing, signs, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything specific. I just think we need to start thinking about those things. So people know what we're doing. And, I don't know if it's a plaque or a banner or.
I think it's probably a combination.
I think we just need permission for Katie to purchase things that
Yeah,
seem
Yeah.
good. Like this is her world.
Inside the helmets and
Yeah.
stuff
Well,
like that.
Yeah.
the labeling part, you got to make sure you read standards, and because you can't put stickers on the outside of helmets or bats or there's certain equipment that you can't alter. But so tags if it's something that gets sewn in, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think we need to start, or at least give Katie permission to have a budget for that.
Would you like to
Didn't we have it?
To,
I mean, I can look and see if we already had something in the budget.
I think it falls under, I think, communication and certain things.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing, communication. You want to make a motion?
I will make a motion for Katie to start purchasing administrative items for marketing, such as signage, banners, plaques, promotional items, etc., based on the line item we already have in the budget.
Second the motion. Those in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, we seeing a budget on you?
Then
No.
We've got
In the
there's already something in there. Yeah.
Aye. Sorry. Motion passes.
Okay.
And one last quick second before we kick Sarah out
Well,
the
and
door.
I'm the one recording this meeting right now, so
Alright.
I don't think I can leave.
Maybe
Should I
send them a
just-
text and ask to be moved to the end.
I think they usually do.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to, let's see where. Let's talk about, where are we here? Where's our budget discussion? Number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Number 7. So I put together a spreadsheet. Thank you. Yeah.
Too much stuff open here.
That's an attempt
Joining if you want to jump it over to me then.
to
Chat about the budget a little bit.
let's see,
It's all right.
make
I reclaimed the house.
Okay.
budget information planning. Okay, so this spreadsheet, what I did is, let me just give you the background, the way we built from here is I took our actuals or budgeted, excuse me, professional services and administrative. Some of those are actual adjusted and some are budgeted last year, so those roll up. Then I broke down all of our all of our partners budgets and see this like, yep, looks like people have added things in. There we go.
I worked
See,
on
know,
I worked on the
yeah.
county last night
Good, good.
after our
So-
JPA meeting. So
Yeah, so I think it makes sense. It's kind of, these are projects that can go in there for specific. Now, are these, part of the question is, are these ones that we anticipated this year that we want to carry it into the fall timeframe? And so there's two ways of looking at this. So my first initial step was I took the numbers that we had last year and said, so City of Driggs had 137,000. We'll give them 137,000. If we had 20,000 that was going to carry over, that would carry over into there too. And so we're going to